Hey everybody, thank you for joining me again. Hey everybody, thank you for joining me again. This week we're going to be looking at how to find your style as a miniature painter. I'm going to use two different styles on two different miniatures, two different Primaris Intercessors, in order to show you, well, even for a beginner like me, how easy it can be to pick up different styles and different methods of painting miniatures. So I'm going to do a quick series on how to do different paint schemes in different styles depending on like who does them and stuff. I mean, I don't know a lot of different styles, but I'm going to look at different things throughout the series and we'll try and pick and choose which ones are cool and look good and that we can try. So first of all, I think for most of them we're going to try and have like a standard throughout and then try and compare different ones. It's usually going to be the same few people that we're comparing. But for this first week, what we're going to do is look at Salamander's color scheme, but apply the style of Richard Gray, who's quite a popular painter on YouTube, and Midwinter Minis, Guy from Midwinter Minis. Compare two of those styles. One of them is an Imperial Fists video that I'm going to take a style from, and the other one is a Blood Angels video. I'll link them both down below, so check them out. But we're going to take the painting approaches and combine them and see if we can find a style that suits me, and hopefully you'll see how easy it is to pick up a new style if you're looking into improving your miniature painting as well. So stick with me, we're going to get started real quick. First we're going to look at Richard Gray, then we're going to move on to Midwinter. So stick around, hopefully this will go really well and we'll end up with some nice results. Okay, just so we all are aware, I am definitely way out of my league with this, but I just wanted to have a go at it. So the first thing we should probably note is that Richard Gray, the guy whose style I really like, seems to be a competition painter. I don't know an awful lot about the whole universe of painting and stuff like that. I'm a bit limited on that idea, but from what I can tell, Richard Gray seems to be some kind of champion painter, award winner or something. So I'm just gonna, I mean, this is not going to be on his level. I've only been painting for about a year, not even consistently at that. So what I'm going to do is watch through one of his videos and see how I can apply, not necessarily, not exactly the same thing, but with that same style of a fully painted marine. Okay, so, you may be already aware of this, but first color we use when we're doing Salamanders is Waaagh Flesh, the sort of Auric base color, I imagine. I have not painted Auric yet. But from the looks of things, not a lot of particularly complex methodology going on here. Oh, I need to give it a shake. I'm gonna shake up the paint to the base color. And it seems to be a pseudo dry brushing approach. So what we're gonna do is pop that down just so you know it's there. It's having the brush just in it. I'm using a sort of dry brush style brush. And then you kind of, like you were dry brushing, work the paint off the brush until there's not a massive amount left. And we're just going to start stickling, what did he say? Stippling? I'm going to get a bit of light here first. That'll be good for it. Yeah, a bit of light. And let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Let me just show you how it looks. Really quite pleased with that. It's a different look to what I'm used to receiving. It's not quite so heavily done. I missed a couple of spots, but the lighting in here isn't very good. But I'm really happy with how that looks. Well, so far it's a nice. It's the coverage is good because you can't get every single area. You're not like washing the paint into the into every gap and crevice and stuff. You actually get a really nice sort of coverage. Really like that. I mean, on his own video it looks good, but it's kind of nice to see it real. And I mean, the camera with the light and stuff to make it look even clearer to me. So I'm excited to see what this turns out like. Okay, so seems to be applying a similar approach to most things. The next color we've got is Warpstone Glow. Warpstone Glow? It's Warpstone Glow, yeah. Guess that. Warpstone Glow, just gonna work this off. And Richard, the guy doing the styling video, the original one, is doing it kind of top down, as if like the light is coming from above the mini. So I'm gonna take a similar sort of approach and highlight raised edges and curves towards the top of the model. See what kind of effect that gives us. Try and stay to the upper portion of every surface, just to get it as if it's lit quite well. So the Warpstone Glow, it doesn't take long to do this. It's quite nice to get the base colors on. Kind of, to continue considering this is like a supposedly an award winner's style, it's taking me a lot less time to paint this than it normally would. So I'm kind of excited about that. Maybe I'll adopt this approach. I'll see what the other one's like and see, maybe hopefully we will be able to find a new painting style for me, because I spend a bloody long time painting my minis, as you'll see from the series with the Blood Angels. So let's move on to the next color and see what's going on. Okay, so now we're on to Moot Green. Unfortunately, Richard does use an airbrush at this point, so which is something I don't have in brackets yet. So gonna have a go with the Moot Green and just dry brush it the way I normally would. So be super gentle, super sparse. The Moot Green, get this nice sort of effect going, so you can see what the three colors kind of complement each other like. Really work this off. Dry brushing, there's a tendency, especially when I do it, to put way too much paint on the brush and not to be confident enough in the effect that you're going to get if you go easy and you go gently. Really happy with that. It's not dry brushed, but it's, oh no, it is dry brushed, sorry, it's not airbrushed. You can really see how the colors complement each other completely differently to the way I've done things before. Really, so if you take, this is a salamander versus a salamander I did a very long time ago, a few months back. Look at the difference in how the shadowing and the contouring and everything. I love that. That's fantastic. Let's just see what's next. Yeah, so next up, all I'm going to do is jump in with some Undercoat Black, cover up anything that needs to be covered up so we can make it a bit easier to paint the other parts. So I'll hop back in when I'm done that. Okay, so next up, I'm going to be doing my metal effect colors. We're a different style again. The Vallejo seemed to be the style that Richard Gray was using. I will be using Citadel because I don't know any better. But we're gonna real quick get in around all the metal parts. He seems to be, oh sorry, I got Undercoat Black on my hands and couldn't rub it off quickly enough. So we get in, really quickly cover any areas that need metal. Yeah, so got some of the metal effect on there. Try to get some wear and damage effect, as well as some just a bit of an interruption from the normal colour in there, and just a bit of metal just to bring it to life. So we'll dry brush some metal on next to the gun and stuff, just to get that looking good. So there, added a little bit of Stormhost silver as well, just to bring out the metal slightly more. So next is going to be the gold. Auric Armour Gold. Richard Gray in his video seems to be using gold straight out of the pot with unthinned, because he's using this model to go really quickly. I'm going to copy the same sort of style. Depending on how the gold turns out, I might add some shade just to make it look a little bit more full, but I'm going to try and follow things as faithfully as possible here. So let's get the gold added in. Yeah, so I'm still, as you can see, working on my ability to be quite fine. There are some mistakes there which up close are quite obvious, which is annoying, but I mean, never going to be perfect at this stage. So what I'm going to do is to just try and, I mean, Richard Gray's video is quite a grimdark approach to his Imperial Fist that he's doing. So what I'm going to do is grab a shade color and very quickly run over it, mostly to cover up the leaking bits of gold, but also to just, well, separate it from being a tabletop piece. I don't play the tabletop game, he does. This is a quick model. For me, it's a quick model, but I'm also going to try and make it look a bit better than my normal style. Hopefully use this style to kind of improve my own ability. So let's see what happens when I shade this one. Yeah, so the shade definitely makes things, it will cleans it up a little bit, makes it appear that little bit finer. So I'm going to move on to see what we do next. So we're going to move on to do some last kind of highlighting on the armor. But I wanted to really quick use some actual dry paint to just get a real nice dusting of light color on top. Okay, so to finish off the green areas with some Moot Green, and I also got some Praxetti White here. What I do is just get a little bit of the green. And try and create a very, very fine, which is hard with white. White is working with tiny concrete. Very, very fine top highlight color to just really catch those parts that would be touching the light. So okay, so yeah, as per what seems to be usual, my camera ran out of battery, so didn't realize in time, but all I managed to do in the time that it took me to realize was reshade everything and put some red in the eyes, essentially. So what I'm going to do now is basically finish the model, add some final highlighting, and then do the sort of grey parts that Richard Gray does to finish off the packs and stuff. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so with that final highlight done, I'm just going to really gently go over little packs and edges and stuff here with grey just to bring them out. Okay, so I mean overall the method does look very good. I think, you know, as an overall model, you can see obviously a lot of mistakes and stuff that I made, but it's the first time trying it. The effect you get from that style of colouring, that initial style, really impressive. I like it a lot. So I think I'm going to try and use that more and practice it. I'm going to do more chapter styles as this mini series goes on, so keep an eye out for that. You can see where, I think next time I try this, I'm going to make sure that I get the colouring done first before I try and do the ornamentation, like the gold and stuff. So I'm going to make sure I'm absolutely finished with the highlighting, because a lot of the other colours have washed through. But then it does help with those sort of washed through colours, just help add a little bit to the shadows and stuff. So it's not totally terrible, it's just not as nice as I would have wanted it to be. I think for a first attempt, using this style has gone quite well. It's quite fun. Like the lighting effects and stuff you get really cool. So yeah, move on to the next one. Okay, so this will be the Midwinter style of painting. It'll obviously work better with the Blood Angels whenever I come to try that style, but I want to see if the same shadowing techniques and stuff kind of work and apply like that. So I'm going to have a go and see if doing the same thing will work here. So I'm going to get some brown and really wash it out. So just for the sake of trying to follow along, just interestingly going to see if applying the same concept to using green here by mixing like instead of using red to create terracotta, I'm going to try green to create this like swamp color. Green and brown together, like Guy uses red and brown. I'm going to try and mix these together and see what I can achieve. Okay, by this point you can kind of see like it looks like it's a very strange shade of green for sure. A really strange shade of green, but when Guy's painting the Blood Angels, they look brown rather than red. So hopefully this color starts to pay off and it'll kind of work for us too. So let's see what happens. So next, all I'm going to do, instead of creating a really vibrant color to do the highlights in, I'm going to first do a dry brush layer of the next color up, which is Warpstone Glow, and just dry brush that on instead, and then I'll dry brush an actual highlight over the top. Okay, so that's working quite well. I mean, I've not very strictly dry brushed that. I was mostly getting in around the model to try and give it a layer of lighter green. But hopefully the next layer really lightly adds the highlighting sort of details that we need. So let's see what happens. Okay, so to save just a little bit of time while this was drying, I painted over some of the black areas, which we will now paint with silver. But sorry, from now basically it's just painting in details, then shading, and then highlighting. So hopefully this won't take too much longer, but we'll get in now, finish that last bit of black, do the metal effects, the detailing, and then get the highlighting finished. yeah, so that's all those little details painted. Just going to shade it now and see if we need to bring out any more highlights. But I'm actually really happy with how this looks so far. There's not much has gone wrong with this stage, and hopefully in the next couple of seconds I'll be able to show you the two different versions together and you can see which one you prefer. So there's the two of them together. Honestly, I love them both. I mean, it's clear to see some mistakes that I've made on both of them, but together, I think for the first time I've ever attempted two completely different styles of painting, I'm really happy with how they both turned out. The one with the slightly brighter highlights, this one, is Richard Gray's style, and this one is the Midwinter style. So I'm just going to do a quick pan around so you can see the effect of using the same paint. Like, this is the same color scheme, same brushes, but just two different approaches. One with a bit more mixing, the other one with some more stippling and stuff. How we can get two very different effects using exactly the same paint and exactly the same brushes. Let me turn them around a little bit. I'm honestly so happy with both of these. I'm going to try combining both of these styles going ahead with my painting, but hopefully in the rest of the series we'll see some other techniques building off of the Richard Gray style, and hopefully seeing what kind of effects we can get. So dude, let me know what you think of how these turned out down below, because I'm really happy with them, but I'd love to hear what other people think. This is just to show you how a beginner like me can adapt to styles, and how if you're still looking for your style, you can pick up, you know, new approaches and new ways of painting to try and develop a style personal to you. Yeah, so overall, so happy with these two guys. I am really looking forward to the rest of this series to see what kind of other effects we can get. I'm going to try and stick to the Richard Gray approach because it doesn't require any kind of contrasting or anything like that. The Midwinter one required, I mean, brown was one of the bases used for Blood Angels, and brown kind of suits green as well, so we were able to bring the green out of the brown, but I don't think for other schemes we'll be able to bring it out so well. But we'll try comparisons and we'll see what they look like. But also, towards the end of the series, I will try different undercoat colours for my own kind of style that I come up with, and we'll see how well they turn out. So, let me put that down. I'm really looking forward to seeing where these sort of colour schemes go. I will be finishing the Blood Angels Combat Patrol when I get time to finish them all off properly, but in the meantime I'm going to be doing all kinds of different things like this, and hopefully showing you different ways you can adapt and take on new styles of painting. So if you enjoyed this, please do subscribe. Really enjoy seeing new people joining me. I know it's a small channel, but it's really fun watching it kind of grow on its own, of its own accord. So do join in. If you have any suggestions for chapter colours that you'd like to see, so far I've planned Salamanders, Blood Angels and Ultramarines. If you'd like to see some more, I might have to buy more paint, but do let me know and we'll have a go. And otherwise there'll be other series and stuff coming out at some point soon, so do stick around for those too. So again, yeah, leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and obviously, you know, comment, because I really want to hear what you guys think and what you want to see from me. And obviously if you've done something similar, comment down below with a link and I'll have a look at it. But again, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you again really soon.